The incident occurred on Tuesday evening, January 2nd, around 17:50 local time. A Japan Airlines Airbus A350-900, this exact one, landed on runway 34 right at Tokyo Haneda Airport. Shortly after, it burst into flames, as seen in the footage. A huge fireball is visible behind the aircraft. Flight JL5160 departed from New Chitose Airport in Sapporo. According to the Japan Coast Guard, the aircraft, the Airbus A350-900, collided with the Dash 8 from the Coast Guard. Approximately 379 people were on board. All passengers of the Airbus survived. Unfortunately, 5 out of 6 people from the Dash died during the collision. The captain somehow made it out of the aircraft and is currently in the hospital. This is the captain from the Dash aircraft, and he was already interviewed with some new evidence, according to Aviation Herald. Footage shows the firefighting efforts to extinguish the fire on the A350, which has its fuselage engulfed in flames. All flights scheduled to land at Japan's busiest airports are being diverted at the time of the accident. The fire was extinguished approximately 8 hours after the crash. First off, condolences to everyone involved in this crash. It's a miracle that everyone survived on the Airbus A350-900. If you have seen footage from the Airbus, it is just engulfed in flames. Was burning for 8 hours, and everyone made it out alive with only like minor 15 injuries or something. This is really a miracle, and mad respect to firefighters, to the rescue crew, but especially to the cabin crew of that Airbus. It shows that the good training and the good precise procedures they have really help. What was very interesting as well is that the passengers didn't panic. There was video footage shown filled by passengers that were on board. They didn't panic. They didn't take any luggage on board. The PA system might have broken down after the aircraft came to a halt. And with the PA system, with the passenger address system, the cabin crew would usually announce the evacuation after the captain has announced the evacuation, or if the cabin crew finds it completely necessary that they have to evacuate right now, then they can do that on their own. But usually the captain would announce the evacuation, and then the cabin crew would tell the passengers to evacuate. But in this case, maybe the PA system was broken down after the crash and they had to shout it. And it's not completely clear if the passengers stood up by themselves or if the cabin crew had announced the evacuation according to procedures. This is the first full hull loss of the A350. The A350 is not airworthy anymore. It is completely burned down. The only thing that remains are the wings and the engines, but they will also be completely broken down. So there's nothing, no remains of the aircraft. The French BEA, those are the Airbus guys, will help Japan Airlines with the investigation. So they have a good knowledge about the Airbus aircraft, and they will help to investigate especially the materials used in the aircraft, because the A350 uses composite materials and they handle fire quite differently from usual aluminum. So this will be interesting to see how the Airbus A350 especially played a crucial role in the surviving of all those passengers and crew. The details of the collision are still under investigation. Definitely a human error. Right now the question is, on what side? Was ATC the problem, or was the Dash 8 or maybe even the Airbus the problem? That we did have proof that Airbus A350 was actually cleared to land on runway 34 right. The captain of the Dash 8 was interviewed after the crash, and this is from Aviation Herald. On January 3rd, 2024, this is today, Ministry of Transport said that the Dash 8 had received instructions to proceed as far as it could, probably to taxi the runway 05 for takeoff from that runway. This is the south runway located near the water. The Coast Guard captain, by his own testimony, however, understood this instruction as takeoff clearance, so he was already interviewed after the crash. Running up runway 34 right, the very runway the Airbus was landing on, and leading to the collision. The JTSB, same as the NTSB, just in Japan, is investigating the occurrence, together with all the Airbus guys involved. On January 3rd, 2024, this is today, the JTSB reported one of the black boxes of the Dash 8 has been recovered. Black box of the A350-900 is yet to be found, but it will probably soon be recovered, as it is made to withstand such extreme heats. We do not know the full conversation of obviously from the black boxes and the full ATC communication yet. Might have been an ATC error. When you look at the chart of Tokyo Hanoi Airport, it is very big. It's there are lots of frequencies, different frequencies all around the airport, different ground frequencies, And there might have been a problem with switching over or something, or maybe a communication problem, but from the statement we've heard from the captain, it was definitely a communication problem, that the captain heard a lineup clearance, but it was actually clear to taxi to a holding point. What could have helped was the stop bars. So there are usually on major airports stop bars located in airports, but on Charlie 3 to Charlie 1, Charlie 5, Charlie 6 as well, there are no stop bars, there are just holding points. Stop bar is like a red light. It's a bar full of red lights on the tarmac in front of you on the taxiway, and you never should cross a stop bar like this. So if you would have been cleared to line up on a runway and there is still the stop bar showing red, then you would ask ATC stop bar. Then they would, most of the time, they just forget to turn it off. But it's a second layer of safety to just never taxi past the stop bar. And in this case, the ATC communication with the -8 pilots was not so clear as it seems now, current state the day after the crash. And the stop bar would have definitely helped to clear up the communication, because then he would have asked, hey, the stop bar is still red. ATC would have said, yeah, you're not cleared to line up on a runway yet. And then it would have been clear. But unfortunately, Charlie 6 to Charlie 1 didn't have any stop bars. Actually, on this runway, only Charlie, Charlie 9, Charlie 8, Charlie 7 have stop bars. In aviation, we learn from every accident, and probably the thing we learned from this accident is that maybe it will be in the future mandatory to install stop bars on runway or a second layer of safety. There have been a few quite dangerous close calls, even in the USA, with lineup clearances and near misses that could end it catastrophically. So maybe in future airports it will be mandatory to install stop bars, because this is just that second layer of safety. It's sad to see something like this happen, but we can all learn from it. Until the next one, stay safe.